Alright, so we are back to streaming a bit of Europa Universalis. And before going further, I just want to double check I don't have any echo going on. It does seem like it's a singular one now. Right, excellent. I think during the last stream, well, a couple of streams ago, we had a little kind of thing where it recorded the voice twice. So it got really strange. And I didn't know until after the stream, and nobody told me. Alright, but anyways, so Naples it is. And the idea here is to build a economic powerhouse. And it is my first time playing the game, so I'm still kind of figuring things out. And I will be doing that as we go. So if we add a few kind of map mods, which are quite convenient. Let's see, I'm wondering if I should turn things up a little bit on my end. There we go, okay. Francesco Petrarca arrives. The great Francesco Petrarca has arrived and joined our court as requested so he can mourn the death of King Robert the Wise and you. So he passed during the last session. Welcome, my friend. So here we have Naples, and we are trying to stretch this out to Sicily. So primarily our objective is to build economics, good diplomatic relationships. And so we can see here from our relationship standard to most of the nations around us is fairly good. So we need to work a bit on Serbia and Epirus as well, looks like it. Now as for North Africa, we're not going to worry too much about those countries. We'll try to just keep out of the way. Sicily, we don't have to worry too much about them as far as relationships go, as we are building a spy network. And the idea behind that's going to be to actually create a casus belli, which is a right to invade or attack, right? Though it's going to be a forged document in our case. Our armies do surpass them, so we should be able to go in there hopefully and take Sicily for our own eventually. Other things that are happening, we are building roads to improve the control we have and the flow of goods and mercantile across our nation. And we have a few kind of productions, you know, building up some resource facilities throughout the country. That aside, we're just kind of taking it as it comes, trying to learn it as we play the game. Making the mistakes we have to do to learn how to do this properly. But that's all part of the fun, isn't it? Alright, so let's see if there's anything else here. Okay, yes, we are stabilizing the country because we want to bring up our legitimacy. It's going to play into a lot of things, and we're actually working on one of our missions as well. And for that one, to finish this particular arc, look here, we need to reach 39.9% or 39.9 points of stability. And that's kind of what we're trying to improve currently. We had a few knockbacks due to some political events recently, but we are bounding back. And we have to hold this for 5 years. When that has been completed, we'll probably look at some of the other missions. Might be looking into the economy one and see what's on offer there. Alright, let's speed things up a little bit. So it's kind of nice to be able to see what everybody else is doing. And what kind of production is being built up. And I think there's actually a market being constructed up here somewhere around Florence. So that might become a competitor to our markets. See, I think we had a market view here somewhere. Sounds like there's some productions being completed. Yeah, the market view. Alright. So currently, you know, we have the Naples market. which controls this whole region, right? But now Florence is building one of their own, and that might become something we need to contend with. So up here, right? So a quick look at the economy, see how it's going in production, if there's something else we need to kind of start building. I'm looking at the goods. Primarily these are the raw materials, first and foremost. I'm looking at anything that's, you know, has a bad market balance, that is importing a lot, which is going to cost us a lot more. What's this? Rebel movements. 2.63% of Orthodox zealots. Not too much, not too worried about that right away. So this is improving. We have started production of several farms and are still producing more, I think. So let's see. Should be able to see here, right? Right, so we're doing some textile work, furniture production here coming in. Might actually want to create some more of these wheat farms. Right, so at the start of every month, that's, you know, you hear a bit of a coin per sound. That's when you actually get paid out. There's a monthly ticker on that. There's mainly the wheat that's bad, and also the cloth, or the fine cloth, so we're working on that down here. Trying to get that produced. Though we're gonna probably need some raw materials, you know, to do the production there. Which may require something else. Then we have this, as our fruits, dirty green. Okay, so we don't have any kind of land masses that can produce sturdy green at this point, so that will have to be imported for the time being. But we might hopefully be able to capture something with time. Right. Oh, can't look like the game might be crashing on me. We'll hold on for a few moments, see what happens. See if it kind of kicks back or not. Something seems to be happening. Let's check out the performance on the computer. Yeah, it seemed to drop a few frames there by the sides. Okay. So the age of Renaissance, first time coming to this point, so that's interesting. Let's see. This is the dawning of the age of Renaissance. A new area of knowledge, arts and progress is emerging due to growing interactions and institutions in the medieval society affected by Pax Mongolica, the Islamic Golden Age and the European Renaissance, which is the ones we're taking part in, I imagine. Let's see, now... Do we... It looks like we have to make a choice. Yes. So what is going to be our main goal? So let's have a look at the things that we're being offered here. So make sure everything's stopped here for now. Right, thirst for knowledge. So literacy. Okay, legislation, court cost lessened. Interest decreased. Mercenary maintenance cheaper, so, you know, pay for gold rather than having our standing, instead of having a standing army, for example. Okay, let's see. Despite our focus in the countrywide scale of affairs, we must not neglect to tend to our local legislators and bailiffs. I think proximity cost is probably going to be, you know, as you move further away from the capital, you lose a certain percentile of water tax income or like goods flow you have, right? This can be improved with the roads and such. Yeah, here's yeah. So proximity is how close the location is to the capital of its owner. Alright. So church attendance duty, fair enough. Alright, so stability improves. And religious war. This would be really good if you want to attack like any of the North American countries. Anti-piracy. Okay. So it's going to be one of these two, right? So let's have a look at the diplomatic one as well. I think this one might be more towards the mercantile section, which we probably want. But I want to have a look here as well. This is going to be more towards just warfare, which is really the focus of this playthrough. Or, you know, this particular campaign, as far as I have it in mind for it. So diplomats... okay, so we can create casus bellis faster. This will be good for Sicily, of course. Oh, I see, okay. Allows us to make use of more refined trading practices, giving our merchants the upper hand over the competitors. This would be good against the possible market being grown in Florence. It's merchant tradition, so that increases the trade maritime advantage. We can send out privateers. So diplomatic interpretation. Improved relations, good to keep things balanced around us. Tribute citizens, strengthen our income by establishing a formalized system of yearly tribute to former vassals. War score cost. I'm a little bit torn, I must say. Neither of them, you know, fully embrace what I'm going for, so I suppose it's a bit of a toss-up between the two. But this will be very good for building an infrastructure, and we're kind of in the early phases as well of building a strong road system and such, so this could be useful for that. Now, if you do decide to switch back to being more kind of religious focused and maybe supporting the Pope rather than the godly king, I can't quite recall what it was called, but a contender basically, which is actually in Naples. And we are currently supporting them, but we might want to switch back. In that case, this will be better. Let's spend the next 5 minutes thinking about this, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna go with the diplomatic focus simply for these here. Market attraction and merchant tradition. Or trade maritime edition. Okay. Hoping you won't regret that. We'll find out. Alright, papal stats oppose that Catholic Church enact De Gratia Rex. And what is that exactly? Votes can now be cast. Is that gonna pop up somewhere here? Don't really know where we can find that or vote on that. So instead, we're hoping it'll pop up somewhere when we need it. Maybe it's up here somewhere. We'll check it in just a moment. But let's start a bit more production here in wheat. I think it costs 52 ducats to start another wheat farm, so we might want to do that. Get that kind of going, because that's going to take a while to get it built up. So here. And then we get a place somewhere. I'm assuming like the closer it is, the easier it's going to be to actually get the output from it. You know, so you can see like the profits from the wheat. So it's going to be higher, I imagine, if it's closer. Katia, Campania. Yeah, exactly. So the capital being here, we have a road which goes up to here somewhere. And our control is, you know, strongest here. And we're building and improving it in this region as well. So we kind of want to focus most of the infrastructure around this region to get most of the taxation from it. We just get another one here. And I don't think we have any more money for that. Nope. Okay. So we can let time flow once more. More nobility in the army. With increased privilege of the nobility come additional duties. They are expected to serve the army as officers and true gentlemen. Alright, so we can choose one of these two. Right, so we're currently moving towards aristocracy. So I was kind of wanting to get away from that. And more into a more democratic sort of kind of build-up. And power with the merchants. Right, so this gives societal values towards plutocracy. I think that's what we want, right? Let's see. We change the social values by 2 towards quality. So just look at the modifiers mainly. It seems to be mainly focused on military expenditure. Yeah, it's a lot of different figures to look into, right? And especially when you're just doing a first playthrough, or the first few ones, I imagine, you know, you don't exactly know what you're looking for. You have to kind of scour all the values and try to decipher some information from it that might be useful. Right, so we do actually have, if you look at the different estates, these are the main factions we're dealing with. And here's the nobility, so they're currently quite happy. They have a lot of power. Now I want more power within the crown, so I need to get it away from nobility a little bit. And I was wanting to increase the power of the burghers instead. Now as for the clergy, I haven't quite decided yet if I want them to be powerful as well. But nobility as it is, I mean, it would be easier just to kind of hold on to that. And maybe the crown together with nobility would make a very kind of powerful power block. But then, you know, they are more likely to be able to pressure the crown, or myself that is, into various things which I may not want to do. Probably want to have their fingers into any income that comes through trade, which is not what we want. We want free flow of goods from all over the world into Naples. Alright, so make the best of leads. I think plutocracy is probably what we want. So noble power 27 plus... yeah. Is it the same? Let's see. I guess it's the... if you look at it, it seems like the top part is just like the current status. Ah, okay, yeah, okay. I think I'm starting to figure this out. So it seems like we have overview at the top, and then we have the different options. Okay, now we can move over here. Okay, so this is the current standing, I think. And then you have the yeah, the different kind of results down here, right? Okay, so plutocracy is dominant. It scales up to the burghers' power. So that's what we want. Okay. So So we do want plutocracy, so we take this here. So may the best leader lead the army. Now, I do fully realize that the speed of my playthrough is a fraction of what you see some of the other people play this game as. And I've checked out some of the streams. They're really good and a lot of fun to watch as well. But they're, they've been playing a lot and early versions as well. So it's understandably so. But at the same time, I am enjoying this somewhat slower kind of pace of things. Allow myself to really dig into the lore and the different options available. And as such, I guess I don't really feel much of a need to push through at any lightning speeds. Just enjoying spending my time within this time period and seeing how things progress. Alright, so here's the vote we were looking at earlier. So resolution to the votes. So I think we could have probably voted earlier, but it's been decided so far. Okay, so no excommunication by looks of it. So it's been voted on. Let's see, De Gratia Rex. In their hearts all the faithful know that God ultimately selected our ruler, and thus they rule by his grace and by his word. So the Catholicism would get De Gratia Rex for 10 years. So a state satisfaction equilibrium, 5% more for Catholicism. So I suppose it wouldn't be the worst thing. It's basically a big up for everything Catholic, and we are Catholic. Right, so can we put a vote on it? I see, yeah, so if we'd need religious influence to a certain degree, which we don't have. I wonder where we can see that. Just looking at the top here, because most of the values are up here, right? But I'm not seeing a regular religious one. Alright, well in any case then, we don't have to worry about it. And if we're already kind of weak on the religious influence, then we might as well just kind of veer away from it entirely. Just focus on, the economy and let the economy kind of guide our path forward. Ignoring kind of religious things that could slow us down potentially. Though religion is help with stability, so that's something that's good, of course, for that reason. Alright, so we need a bit of wheat, we need books, furniture's being worked on, wheat's being worked on. I think books will probably be good for things such like education, for long-term growth. So maybe we want to check that out, see what kind of structure we need for that. Jewelry is a bit of luxury. What buildings are needing that? Alright. Pets and connections, advanced research. Yes, the cost of food has decreased. The idea behind this was to kind of try to improve their own kind of quality of life. So they have more spending power for other things than just food. So, Age of Renaissance, entirely new tree unlocked. And I think the path we can take here is probably the one we selected at the beginning there. It kind of looks like all these things are locked off, though I would have liked going down like a banking path. Not sure how we get to that. Because this looks like the things we can pick from. So we'll just have to go down there, right? So, Scholarly Treaties. We'll just pick what we can. Yes, this would help to remove the entrenched power of the nobility and any laws that might support that. Right. Okay, so what else? What else? How's this bio network coming along? Okay, slowly building up, but it's progressing. Yes, we were kind of wanting to look at books, right? So some more production. I'm not sure we have the money yet. So maybe in a well, 3-4 months time. Well, let's have a look at it anyway. So these are buildings. And here we should possibly find what we need. So let's search for books. Books. So scriptorium. So for that we need dyes, paper and lumber. Produce 0.3 books. Not sure how much we have this. But it's not, the requirement isn't that high in the amounts, but paper might be a thing we need to look into then. See if we can build a scriptorium. In Aquila. Yeah, let's build one up here in the mountains. Okay, so one of these and then a paper mill or paper production. That's going to be under the raw materials, I think. So if we close this, go back, goods, wood, how are we looking at that? Oh, look at that. It actually filters the map at the same time. Oh, that's a lot of... That's a really good functionality. Right, so let's have a look at if you have anything in the wood production. Yeah, we have. Yeah, so we could create some wood here. And we need 33.5 ducats. So we need to wait, yeah, for about 2.5 months, 3 months really. Right, so currently we're waiting, I think it's still like 1344. Our current heir is rather young still. So it's actually being led by a, not an actual regent, but like a, what was it called? Regency? Somebody who takes their place basically temporarily. Okay. So it looks like at the start of every month everything kind of grinds to a halt for a microsecond or two. There's a lot of calculations going on in the background. See, we are still progressing here. Just takes a while. Of course, investing more in the clergy would help with the stability, so we could do that, I suppose, temporarily. Alright, getting closer to what we need. Here's our glorious army sitting out outside of our capital, just in case something happens. They're not really being funded much at the moment, as we're trying to keep our kind of income focused towards, you know, building up resources and structures at the time being. I think their readiness isn't going to be as good as it would be otherwise. So when we do decide we're about to go close or go into attacking Sicily, we probably need to spend some time, you know, pushing money into them, getting them in a better shape, right? What's this? The cardinals in Curia have come to a conclusion to have now enacted De Gratia. Good. So free bonus for us for 10 years. Could also be fun to do like a playthrough with a different nation at some point, which is like, and play it super religious. You know, back up the papal, you know, the papal state, and just build churches everywhere and that sort of thing, right? Okay. Right, the institution appeared in Genoa. Professional armies. Armies have existed since the war was invented, many thousand years ago. However, the form has changed over the centuries, and different types of recruitment and organization have developed in different cultures and periods. In the late Middle Ages, armies in a wide range of societies relied on levies based on the structure of feudal society, with knights and footmen forming a corps that was levied seasonally. In some regions, however, the states were powerful enough to finance standing armies, with professional soldiers who would be available for duty throughout the year. This system was also developed in Europe after the outbreak of the 100-Year War, being one of the main changes that promoted a military revolution in the early modern age, increasing the size and quality of professional armies, while finding new sources of revenue to finance them. Soon became one of the main challenges for rulers around the world, myself included. Where's the institutional origin? So that's from Genoa. Now, I don't know how it works in this game compared to, say, Victoria 3. Victoria is quite interested with technology and advancements. You do your own research, but at the same time, when something is developed research-wise, it eventually spreads from that location, you know, through people traveling and the scholars visiting and that sort of thing. So you'll actually kind of learn new technologies just from the cultural exchange between different nations, on top of what you're researching yourself. So we are expanding farms here in Brindisi. Right, now we have enough money, and let's build whatever it was we were planning to do. Let's see, production. What was it? Paper mill, right? Oops, let's see. Paper. Probably want one here. Right in Naples. Alright, suppose we could do two. You know, it can't hurt. It just takes a little bit of time, and we did have the money for it, so that's all good. Let's have a look at the economy. How are we doing? We did boost the court cost for legitimacy. Minting is still as good as gonna get temporarily. We do have some lack of materials for minting. I think we need a bit of gold maybe, or silver, which I don't think we have access to within our region. So Control R for resources. So alum, Yeah, so no silver, no gold by looks of it. Wonder where we could get that from. Right, and can we tax the clergy? No, I think we need some sort of new law, or well, research for that probably. So this way we want to kind of boost up the trade income. Now, as for stability, we actually spend money on that. And our income has increased since we last did this. I'm going to push it up just a little bit further to speed up this improvement here. So maybe like so. So you can see how we lose a lot of money here in the monthly income, but it may be worth it. High stability can lead to all sort of positive influences in the country. Alright, intervene in rival war. Oh, Sicily. Right, so let's pause that and have a little look. Beeswax. So if you do that, then I'll decrease stability spending again. And I'm gonna move up the armor maintenance. So we can intervene in the war against one of our rivals. The first Sicilian Ascolin War. Republic of Ascoli. Where are they? Maybe you zoom out a little bit, you can see it. Let's see, there should be a way to look for it as well. So maybe if I unpin here, we can search. No, okay, so that's just what's being shown on the map, so we can still keep that pinned in that case. Let's see. How do we search for a region? Control F? No. There should be a little search thing here somewhere. They had it in Victoria 3, I think it was up here somewhere, but I'm looking about. Find. Okay, Ascoli. Alright, so this is the icon, so is it median? First name belongs to Ascoli. Republic of Ascoli. Trying to find out a little bit of information about them now. Alright, so this is the war, and is it just like a small state? Population's only 40,000. They're attacking Sicily. Good stability, Catholic, yeah, good opinions. So of course, going together in there would be helpful for building even better relationships. Oh, that was a mistake. Let's go back here again. We gotta wait for a few seconds to be able to go into the pop-up. Here we go. Okay. Well, here's their army. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling a little bit to see actually where they are located. I don't know if it's like the, the median here is like the region they're at. Or it's just like this small states. Right, so this is their population by looks of it. So if I look at myself, see, Kingdom of Naples. Society, and trying to see how many people we have. I think it's in the millions, right? Their population, yeah, 2.466 million. So where does Ascoli fall into this? Do we actually only have 40,000? Is this it? Ancona? Okay, so, but how about them here in Sicily? So they have... It's a bit spread out, similarly. See if we can have a look at the... their kingdom or whatnot, right? Kingdom of Sicily. We are stronger than them. Oh, nice pop-up, okay. So if you look at... If you pause here for a moment, okay. We can see the land strength comparison. So we're almost double that. How about the navy? The thing is, like, if we were to attack, can we actually, at the end of the war, claim territory? Because I don't think that's guaranteed, right? We need the casus belli, I think, to do that. So would it be like a wasted effort to go in there? Or can we go in, take all the lands, and maybe get some of Sicily this time around? Right, how will we intervene? Okay, so we left click. First Sicilian maneuver. Okay, let's give it a save. Like I said, we are figuring this out as we go. Resume first Sicilian one, intervene against Sicily, Athens. Okay, there's a number of different layers in this. Okay, so that's their population, 274, 772. 23,000. I think we should be able to take all of them, just due to our population size. But if we do lose a lot of population, that's going to have an effect on everything, right? So taxation, resource gathering. So we don't really want to be losing people if we don't have to. Does this show the size of the military as well? Army size, okay. Attacker bonus, defender ticking. Sure, let's do it. Let's figure this out. Alright. Here's the war setup. And there's a lot of small players here by the looks of it. Alright, so this is our side. Sounds good. So they have a large, massive canal fleet by the looks of it. So they should be able to protect the waterways. We do have 3 ships, I think. But of course, like, 18 here. Those 17 of them are transports. Okay. I think there is a land passage from us. As far as the map's concerned, right? So I think we can actually go across here. I think at least that was the way in the older Europa Universalis game. Right, so let's go into the economy, increase the spending on the military. Okay, so that was done automatically, moved all the way up. What was changed in return? Okay, so let's have a look here. How are we looking? So morale is pretty low to begin with, so we probably need to give it some time to build up. So if you go in with low morale, they'll just break. So that's not what we want, obviously. So what is the blue line? Is that the morale or something else? Or just the width of the section? Interesting. Alright, so we got this, and see, I don't know if the green line is like the strength with the morale, or the, you know, you would have thought the blue one's the morale. So what if you watch it for a little bit and let time flow a little bit? We're now spending money on them, we're trying to, you know, improve the morale before we actually go down. Okay, so that's moving up here. The average morale, it's going up. Right, so it does seem like the green line is the morale. So maybe the blue one is the width or strength, right? So we only have 100 units here, so, you know, it's not really a wide front line, if you will. Okay, but how do we get more troops then? So we probably need a lot more. We are much stronger than them. This is good, but we probably need a military to support it. I think each of these might be 1,000 men. Or is it 100 for each count? Okay, there's 100 for each. Alright. Victoria 3 was 1,000 per each unit. So it's a little bit different. Alright, so now their morale is good. So maybe we want to start marching them south and get into the tip here. Let's have a look. Okay, so they are moving, so that's looking good. So we let them do that, and I wonder if we need to do anything else for the time being. See? Just kind of keeping an eye on Naples as well. Oh, sorry, on Sicily. Another thing we want to look into is going to be, of course, the defensibility of various locations. I think I had that set up here, tactical. There we go. Alright, so they do have a fort on Messina here. Something we need to make our way through. Alright, the institution appeared in Pavia, Renaissance. Starting now in the 14th century, the wealthy and the powerful in Italian city-states have been patronizing arts and scholars willing to explore the old Roman and Greek societies of their forefathers. As a cultural movement, the Renaissance already encompasses most of the region and has a profound impact on literature, art, philosophy and music. Humanist scholars are also analyzing the society in which they live, comparing it to the ideals of the classical philosophers. Renaissance humanism has grown into a more mature movement, ready to permeate all aspects of society. A new ideal for rulers as well as those who are ruled is spreading as quickly as the earlier printers can distribute copies of their new ideas. This is good, we're actually building some print factories as we speak and some paper production. A true Renaissance humanist is an expert in everything from political and philosophical to art, textual analysis, music and architecture. The Renaissance is now ready to reshape the world to better fit its classical ideals. Excellent. Alright, so here they're moving up. Where are they going? Where are you sneaking off to? They're probably going to land somewhere here, right? Can we send our navy to meet them? Now, it's not a big one, but we do have 2 ships rather than 1, so everything helps. Meanwhile, our military is marching south across the mountains to pass into Sicily. Wonder if we get any information about the fort. How powerful it is. Will we be able to break it or not? Oh, not looking good. 8,978. Okay, so I have misjudged it somewhat. I thought this was 2,500, but it's actually only 250. Okay. What do we do then? What do we do? Well, first thing, we want to turn them back. And we want to muster. Maybe we could get some levies, right? So we're going to send them back to Naples, or Naples, as it's called back then. And let's see. How do we muster troops? Military... Raise levies, that's probably a good thing, right? Regulars... Yeah, we'll get levies at this point. Okay. Oh, 11,000. I like the looks of that. Alright, so we got that going, and... Yeah, let's grab a couple more. I think we probably don't want to get all of them necessarily, because it might prove to be very expensive. Let's start with this. This should be enough to take out Sicily, I think. We do have an ally as well working with us, so that's going to play in our favor. Yeah, so welcome to the stream, by the way. First playthrough of Europa Universalis. Trying to figure things out as we go. We're playing Naples with the primary goal to create like a economic powerhouse, but first we're trying to capture Sicily and hold it into our country. Right, so let's check it here. It's happening relatively quickly, even at low speed, so that's good. Alright, so they are trying to occupy here. I mean, we'll push them back eventually, we just need to get the forces together. And here we have our naval engagement going on. See, not much to see by the looks of it. But we are winning. Okay, diplomatic move. Diplomacy between nations is often affected by random factors on both sides, involved in ways that are beyond the ability of the diplomatic corps of either state. With the ever-changing vicissitudes of our relations with our neighbors shifting ever more swiftly than usual, our diplomats are finding it difficult to keep up. Let's see. So we can appoint some diplomats or improve relations. I think we get some more diplomats for now. Okay, Sicily lost the war at sea. That's good. So they're pushed back, so maybe we can move it here into this little section. And hopefully they'll stop other troops moving across. Okay, so we're looking at what? 9,000 troops at the moment. Lacking commanders? Okay, so we probably want to join them into a singular army. Now let's see, are they all marching to Naples? They're staying in their mustered regions. Yeah, they're staying for now, okay. So let's gather them together here. Well, if I can. Yeah, so let's gather them in a mountainous area so they'll get some good defense. Right, so we can go here maybe. It's kind of weird, the music just went loud suddenly. Audio... Yeah, it's kind of lost itself for some reason, just went haywire. Okay. So how do we give this army, which is looking pretty good? So we want to give them a commander. Just need to figure out how to do that then. Is it there? Let's create a new unit. Formations. Alright, so you can actually plan out. This would be good if you have something like cannons and you know, knights and such. You could put the knights on the flanks, cannons in the back, and those sort of things. Actions. Yes. Okay, let me just pause while I figure this out. Fifth Army is here. Replace a general. We'll get a new one. I'm trying to find somebody which is really capable. Oh, look at this one. There's 80. That's quite good. Naval engineer. Okay, so he might be really good as an admiral. $89. Okay, look at that. Ruthless. Yes, that's what we want. Not much for diplomacy. What's this again? Yeah, diplomacy. And this is authority. And this is like fighting skill. So we'll take this one here if I can. Oh, he's already in the Navy. Okay, okay. 98. That is so high. He's already leading an army. So which one is that? If he is, can we then join it with some other kind of piece of the army? Where is he? Capitano Folco di Luca. Is he in Naples? There's a Naples culture anyway, so it's not unlikely that he'd be there. Where you at? Change appointed that Admiral Army. I mean, is he leading this one? It didn't look like there was anybody there. Fifth Army is the large one by far. That's where you want him. Alright, can we scroll between the different armies somewhere? Or do I just click through them one by one? Yeah, so this area is a temporary setback. We are okay with that. We'll just, you know, we push them back. It would have been better, of course, having known how these things worked to begin with. Then we would have set up a greater army to hold them off before they can actually come across. Because, like, these are mountainous regions, so they'll have better defense as such. It will cost us some manpower to capture it back. Okay, select new unit. Okay, so this is how I'll scroll through them. Alright. They are retreating. That's fine. I think they were mustered there. Campania. Here he is. He's in the first army. Which is where? Oh, okay, he's in the small 250-man army. Alright, the first one we had. Okay. So then I just need to join these two together somehow. Can we walk our way up there? So the 5th army and the 1st army, I want to join those two. What's the 5th one? I don't suppose we could snag him from the other army, right? Okay, let's ask ChatGPT. You'll know how to do this, hopefully. Alright, in EU5, how do I join armies together? Alright, so we move all the armies in the same province. Okay, I would have thought that. Select the multiple ones. Control click and then press the G hotkeys to group, right? Right, so that's the fifth one. And if you can find the first one again. Yeah, it's a bit of a fiddly bit, isn't it? Until you figure it out. Alright, control click. Army builder. Okay, maybe if we select the region, we'll see the list of them. No? Yes. We'll figure it out eventually. Alright. Goodness me. Right. Armies must be in the same location. I think they are in the same one. You drag a selection box around them. Ah, okay. There we go. And then G. There you go. So they're now joined together and they have a singular leader, which I want. So we want to give it a little bit of time for the morale to build up. And then we'll push them south. Let's see. 2,000, 7,000. Yeah, let's move these down here too. Same here. I'm gonna see if I can merge these all into one military, like one army rather. Not sure if I want to move them quite away. These have good morale. Same here, this one's probably broken. Like this one here. Yeah, so he can run back here, that's fine. Right, we'll let a little time pass. Let's do the tactical view. So we're going to want to set up here in case they push. These are open kind of, you know, hills, grassland such, so it's not too bad. We can actually go in there. This one's going to be tough though. 2 levels of fortification. There's a mild winter currently, so maybe we want to wait till the summertime. Like a few months. Okay, how we're looking here. We're almost all the way there. I think we can probably push them here as well. So let's move here. Mark us a low stockpile in Dubrovnik. Yeah, so I think as they're fleeing, they're just kind of fleeing randomly. I can't really control them right now. So they'll need to flee and recover a little bit, and then maybe can do something. But our troops are now moving up in preparation for offensive. I do want them to be in 2 different kind of armies though. So we'll keep the 5th one as the main, with the main general, and then we'll get a second one. Population is falling. I think that's probably due to like loss of manpower and such. Maybe they're burning the farms and the people, right? As they're kind of ravaging the land. Well, I wonder how food stuff is going to work with this. If you need to be like in a you know, country or region that kind of supplies enough food for us to push forward or not. Or if we can just, like, go just about anywhere. I know, like, in the Hearts of Iron games, you know, that's a big factor. Having, you know, a resource path, I think we have that as well, but, like, you also need to be, like, in a region which produces enough food to support the troops while they're there. So this massive first army of 1,000 men. So the Ascoli, the people decided to go into war with. What is a bit opportunist. It might pay off in our favor eventually. Already much better now that we kind of have a rough idea of how this works. Okay, so we're losing some terrain, but like I said, that's a temporary setback. So I'm not overly worried about it. Prestige will go up as well as we start capturing land, as well as, I don't know if stability is going to be influenced by that or not. Yeah, so we do have a little food icon here, that's good. Okay, let's pause for a moment. Let's merge these. G. See if we can get a general here as well. And can we sort it by military strength? What kind of knowledge, right? There we go. Okay. So slowly learning all these things, get a little bit better each time I need to do something. This guy looks pretty good, if he's not already taken. Confirm, yes. We'll add him here. Okay, so it's going to take a while to get there. So let's... okay, so they've merged in together here. Yeah, so who was that? Morale. Okay. Food's still looking good. So they're going to be engaging here. So maybe we want to push forward actually. Give them a bit of support. It looks like we'll have a conflict here between the Republic of Ascoli and Sicily. So morale isn't at the top, but maybe it's good enough still to go in. I do want to use my main force for this primarily. Okay, let's go back here instead. We're gonna circle a bit around him, try to flank him. As he's moving forward here, we're gonna get him on the flatland. Okay, we'll stop here for now. Stop by getting into the mountains here. How's our fleet doing? I think they're holding off here. So hopefully this will block any more troops coming from Sicily. Because they'll have to move across, but I own the strait or control it. The tiny navy, but big enough to do the job, I think. So where are they going? We'll arrive in Matera. So they're heading here. Okay. Right, so their morale is slightly weakened as well. What kind of troops do they have? These are levies as well. So nothing advanced, there's no, you know, artillery, anything like that. Okay, 1 unit of cavalry, and then 8,500. Right. So they have slightly more cavalry, but I think, you know, with the size difference, it'll kind of make up for it. Right, we'll chase them down here on the flatlands, and same here, we'll try to just push after them. So hopefully Ascoli, even a small army, they can put a bit of pressure on them. Integration, let's see. We should have an option here to see control, right? Political. Yeah. Ibn Beli in San Akenio. We have an excellent commander, of course. Speed up just a little bit. Just take a long time to move through mountains. Right, banking's appeared. Very good. Money lending has existed since the metal-based coins appeared in antiquity. However, it depends on some individuals and their family groupings of the ancient state. So earlier I was looking at trying to do a bit of banking research, but I didn't have access to it. Now that section is hopefully getting unlocked for us, and we can kind of start moving down that instead of like the religious part. Let's see, specialized monoliths began to organize when Jewish communities started operating between the Christian and Islamic worlds. However, the boom and credit demand that followed the Crusades in the 12th century encouraged merchants in the Italian city-states to create larger structures for money lending, effectively founding the first banking institutions such as Peruzzi and the body houses. More instruments were developed like bills of exchange and debt bonds, and banking entities such as Medici, Fugger, or Wells. Velsa soon became as powerful as states. Okay. So let's look at the research. Here. Advances, right? How do I get the tree? Research queue. That's the one. Alright, so banking. Yeah, this is one I wanted. This is the one I got. But that's still being worked on. It's strange. So we got banking, but at the same time, it's not unlocking. Requirements not met. What are the requirements? Not in research queue. We have embraced banking. The country can embrace an institution when enough of population of the country lives in locations where it has fully spread. So maybe you need to build, you know, financial structures to get access to it. Alright, so the fight started, kicked off here. This is a big one. We kind of need to win this one. Alright, so this will be us. Capitano Folco de Luca. Massive tactician. You saw moving in, right? Looks like one of them is sitting it out. I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, but their numbers are shrinking and the morale is suffering. Naples won this one, so they're gonna be fleeing and we're gonna have to pursue. They've only lost 450, we need to wipe them out. After we do that, we can just walk into Sicily, I think. So where are they fleeing off to? Or Okay, so can we beat them to it? Don't know if they're fleeing all the way back to Sicily or not. They will arrive in Rossano. Where's Rossano? See, that should be Control W, political, tactical. So if I click them, so that's the 5th Army, that's them. So unpause it. Alright, so the 3rd Army, I wonder if we get like an arrow showing us where they're going. Yeah, so we're trying to catch up here. Now having a really fast army could be good. Like if you had like a cavalry specific one, then maybe we can kind of cut them off easy at the end here. Though we can hope that the first army of the Ascoli will do something like that. At least slow them down, right? Okay, so they are fleeing now. Yeah, and they don't have like the navy anymore, so they can't really go onto those boats to flee. So I'm just trying to cut them off. And so you kind of need 2 armies to do this, probably. I wonder if we're going to arrive at the same time. So the morale is crashing for them, as you can see. At the green bar here, and the general kind of red versus green here, which is the same, but for the different parts of their military. We might want to stop here for a moment just to kind of capture this section. And just keep pushing the large military. Push them all the way to Sicily. But the problem is though, if they can pass across the straits, they can defend from the fort. That's not what we want, you know. We want to stop them before they can do that. Alright, looks like we caught up with them here. Hopefully. Okay, so they broke off again. Alright, so I'm going to leave the smaller military here temporarily. Just to recapture this section here. As you can see, they captured this region. These 2 actually, so we want them back. Don't really know where they're going to be going. Are they going to circle back? What's going on? See, what's our Morlac is very good. So we want to take that engagement if we can. Of course, it's on a hilly area. Ideally, we'd fight them here on the grasslands. Or the plains. But this is also okay. Okay, here we go. So we are hitting them pretty bad, but they are hitting back somewhat. Sicily lost once more. So where are they fleeing? Wherever they're going, that's where we want to go. Gains food from Catanzo. Yeah, so they're taking food from the land they're in. Right, so there are some of these mechanics which you've seen before in early versions. Castro, yeah, so they're going here. How are we doing here? Did we capture it already? Opinion and... where is it? Diplomacy? Okay, good. Can actually send them in here. Not sure we need it. So you can see they are just about to break again, and they have the numbers, but they keep breaking. But I want to get rid of the numbers as well. It's not enough just to break them. We'll push him back up to north temporarily. Just recapture this region real quick. Where are we going this time? Nicastro. Yeah, so we're just kind of doing a bit of whack-a-mole at the moment. Okay, I can speed it up a little bit, I think. We should be alright with that. Alright, Sicily holds once more. Right, April, so we do have the summer ahead of us, so hopefully we can get rid of them in time, and then we can head across during the summertime. Eventually they must break entirely, right? Where are they going this time? To the grassland. Okay, so we shall follow. I suppose we could just be here, right, and finish just capturing, and then we'll push to the southeast, facing with this army, which is fresh. Now we get push here. Yeah, so I'm trying to eliminate them entirely. They just keep running about. I mean, how do we eliminate the army? 0 casualties, right? So they're fleeing straight away. Attrition. I guess they're starving, so I mean, that's something. Alright, so let's push the main army here south. Getting a bit bored of chasing them around. See if we can cross and start capturing their country. Now they have more numbers, but their morale is shattered, they're starving, etc. So hoping that even a smaller military will be able to do the job. I'm hoping I'm not wrong in this. Alright, so we lost more than... No, they lost more. Okay, okay. Just keep chasing them down. Alright, so these should have recovered by now. Okay, so we'll send them south to join. Another 1,000 men. Meanwhile, we're gonna push across for the forts. go to... I'm wondering if I should get some more levies at this point. Just to kind of block them in. Okay, let's pause for a second here. Battle 1 here once more. And let's see. Trying to remember how I got the military to begin with. Let's see. Third Army is lacking commander. That's fine. We don't need that. Third Army is going to be joining here anyways. We did have a few more levies who could. Yeah, so be here military, right? Recruit levies, we can get another 7,000. Is that right? So you get these 3 here. These larger ones. Maybe this one. Okay, so let them gather troops and we'll use them later on and push south. Let's see, Republic Albert accepted peace offer from the former enemies of Republic Ascoli. Alright, so they are giving up here. Doesn't mean I have to. Yeah, so they have attrition going on here. Alright, so we have a bit of gold. So let's start some production of something. What do we need? Still struggling with wheat. Can maybe get, yeah, just one of those, I think. Right. The problem is here, because their numbers are greater, we are taking too many losses. Not too much, for my liking, that is. But it's going to change soon. We are getting some more troops, and you know, they are just breaking all over. Alright, so let me check here, actually, how to eliminate an enemy army in EU5. Yeah, there must be some better way to do this, right? To eliminate an enemy army in EU5, you need to win battles decisively and pursue them until their morale breaks and they are fully destroyed. This often involves flanking, terrain advantages, and timing reinforcements. So breaking the morale is key, so we've done that already. And we're going to use high morale units, ideally professional troops, and strong generals to dominate early rounds. Stack morale bonuses, use terrain, finding defensive terrain, fair enough. Cavalry excess of flanking, chase down routed units. So that's, I think that's what we're missing, right? Because we just have levies. They're just like foot soldiers, so they don't have the speed, you know, they move at the same speed as the other army. Had we any considerable number of cavalry, we could then chase them down as they're trying to flee and really cut down the numbers. And position cavalry on the flanks and use initiative to strike first. Pursue retreating armies. After winning a battle, immediately chase the enemy to the retreat province. If you catch them before they recover morale, you can wipe them out completely. Okay, and then if your army is much stronger and the enemy has low morale, you can trigger a stack wipe, instantly eliminating. Okay, so I think the main thing here, we're kind of lacking cavalry to chase them down properly. For that, we'd have to recruit regulars, I think. It's going to cost a lot of money. These horsemen would be really good. And archers. Oh. Alright, so here we're getting some more units. It is slowly happening. And our troops have finally arrived across here. They'll be attacking the fortifications at this point. The city of Messina. It's a good thing, so we're attacking the summer now, so that's going to help. As for the defenses, you know, won't be starving, anything like that. So that's in our favor. See, Messina, fort level 2, there's only about 200, well, 180 men left at this point. So, supply limit, I suppose that's the time they can stay inside the walls. Maybe you can do like an aggressive charge or something. I know that was a thing, or used to be a thing anyway, so you could actually do some aggressive moves at the cost of men. Yeah, so that keeps going on. Alright, so we're gonna wait here for now, and let's see. Right, so we have these. We should probably join them in a strategic location. We go, send these down here too. And finally, we have these. Right, so that's another, what, 2,500, 3,000 men or so. These will be merging soon. At least the numbers will stack up, and you know, morale's better on my side. We have a general here, right? No? Yes, we do have a general. Okay. 4th, 3rd, and 2nd will merge. There we go. Now they are in a spot of trouble. Right, and the fight continues here for the city of Messina. You see, all active force require a standing force to man the walls and operate patrols. This is how many soldiers are currently present in the fort garrison. Now we'll watch this for a little bit here. We do have it coming up here as well, the city of Messina. We're trying to occupy here. We'll push after them. So they actually had a bit of time to recover. This is really bad. Look at how fast their morale is going up. You have to keep a close eye on these here. So we actually had engaged in here in a, you know, advantageous situation for them, you know, for the terrain. So that's not going to be good for us. Okay, let's get all these together, merge, and then push them south. Oops. Right. Go straight after them this time. Okay, so these are merged, I think. Yes, okay. Still waiting on these. I will send these down south first, though. Alright, so the morale is shattered once more, so that's really good. We'll send these here. I did want to recruit some cavalry if I could. I think it was about 70 ducats, so I might have to say off that. And siege is going to take a while. Let's go here. Harbor capacity. Woods, ocean. So these are the resources. So the supply shortage. Okay. We're getting a naval fight here. We lost that one. So we're kind of stuck here now. So you can retreat back to Naples. With the fleet. Here we go. Hopefully. So we got a bit of flanking from north and attack from east here. Wicked mines. Gold is a dangerous thing. It's tempting, shiny, impossible to resist. It lurks in the shadows, attracting unaware fools to its doom and glow. Its doom and glow. It's gliding around us too deep in its eyes. In colors, I guess no stranger to its peerless feeling. His annoyed face desperately looking for a new toy to play with. His fingers inspecting every drawer, every pocket, trying to use his hands as meet us. So that's our current regent while we're waiting for our actual ruler to come of age. Meanwhile, our nation suffers, the populace slowly falling in despair, their hungry mouths open in prayer. We cannot let Carla too and go ruin our country. Albania loses liberty desire. He becomes a regent. No, I don't want that. So lose stability 2.5. We can handle that. And low prestige. We can handle it, but it's really low as it is. But this will get a bit better when we super P and capture. Super P and capture some land. Let's have a look at him. Do we actually want him to be king? So he's greedy, not too efficient in any certain way. There's our little child that's growing up. Okay, we'll have to look at them in a moment here. Here's Albania. Yeah, we'll do this. We won't give him the kingdom. We're gonna pass it along in a year to the rightful heir. So we're getting in here, trying to join all these armies. Yeah, so I guess it's chance of falling each month, possibly. Okay, every 2 weeks or a month, yeah. So we have a countdown there. And the siege can last up to 225 days, and that's like the time, you know, the supply limit, right? I'm getting so tired of this little army running around. I'll group them all up here. Probably can do a decisive strike. I really need some archers and particularly some knights, some more knights. So we go back to the army. Recruits, how many? 67. What's going to be the monthly cost then? Accept offer. They give them access to some more food. We are okay there. The archers support our footmen with range fire line to advance towards enemy lines when attacking, and also helping them better protect their position when defending. And horsemen, lightly armored fighters mounted up on swift horses. Bands of horsemen have mobility to harass, charge and pursue. Armored horses gonna be even better, right? Horsemen who are more heavily armored, usually with whom form of mail or full plate, they charge headlong into enemy ranks. Alright, so they're not really for pursuing necessarily. So you want the light ones on the flanks. Okay, so they're fleeing south now, but they can't really move in here without facing our main army, and that might just be the linchpin. Hopefully it was them losing armies to attrition rather than ourselves. Yeah, so how are we looking here? So there are 14 men left in the third army. There's a few people standing around, you know, looking across the strait. Oh, the great victories we've had. Good supply shortages, so that's going to help with the actual defending of the fort. Right. We're hopefully chasing them all the way out of our country. We better to fight them on their home front. Yeah, they're fleeing across. Good. Shall we automatically transport second army to Messina using available fleets? Yes, we shall. Hopefully they won't be sunk. As we have another army here that's just kind of sitting out. Right, so they've gone back to their home front. So now we can actually move across and we can then cause a bit of damage to them. Let's see if we can move these. Let's see. So now the navy. So we probably want to take these more fortified situations first. Yes. So I guess they go here and then across with the navy. Lost a chancellor. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so it's going to be roughly half a year we need to hold here. So we're going to be into the high winter time when the fighter falls, so we might lose some men due to attrition at that point. What if we move here? Capture the city of Palermo. That would be quite a decisive blow against them. So if I were to do it like this. Now here's the thing, I don't really know if you can actually transport the troops at this point, because they have a navy in the strait as well. We'll give it a little while and see if it actually works. Can cabinet is lacking a member. Oh, so we lost one there. That's who passed away. Yeah, there's so many people here. Hard to keep track who is who. Right, so it was general diplomats. So what's the point in new cabinet member? So we want a good diplomats. Okay, 16-year-old, but extremely talented. Yes, he'll stay with us for a while then. So, they were increasing police, I think it's up here somewhere. Control. Yeah, here it is. So it is better than it was. I do want to bring this whole region up somewhat. So 55 seems to be okay for now. So maybe we want to move them to these here. Because 15 control so close to our capital is not good at all. Right, so let's change the position he's doing this in. Pros control. Yeah. Okay, so boost these 3 and they'll move them to here and so forth. Wonder if we can actually build any navies. We could raise some levies. Let's see, the population level reduced the population by 1. Each, no families allowed on boats. For a total of 319 water levies are raised. Yeah, so any surviving layers will be returned to the population later. Yeah, so it is rather costly for production of food to raise levels by the looks of it. And I guess this icon just for resource gathering in general. Okay, we can build ships. No regulars. Mercenaries too expensive. Yeah, so let's get a couple of levies just to support this navy we have down here. Guess this would be like 30 all in all. But that'll be a massive change from 2 ships. And then we can take this zone again and we can then push right into the capital of Sicily. And hopefully, you know, we might be able to split the navy and maybe put pressure on some different locations like Katana and whatnot, right? You really do lose, you know, the sense of time while you're playing these games. So I've been playing for about 2 hours now. You hardly realize it. But it's a lot of fun. A lot of things to figure out, but it's a lot of fun doing so. And when you kind of see things come to fruition, it's very satisfying. Okay, so here we go. And we need a commander. The 3rd Navy, who's good. Pause for a moment here. So let's pause it, if you would, thank you. And we can look here again. Right. So he's going to become a Navy General. We'll do another one. So we have 2 different ones. Ruthless. We do like those. Look at his abilities here. That's really good. Might want to get him into politics. Well, he's ruthless, so we'll put him here. Actually, let's change it out. So the larger fleet has the ruthless one. The other one's more like, you know, for less vital tasks. if you remove this one, yeah, we'll see if we can do it after they arrived. It's going to take them a bit to get there, and then maybe we can move them about. Six more days for the next phase. It's getting closer, you know, it's about 30% chance of it falling at this point. You know, might even be worth holding off with pushing with the military until the end of the winter period. But I can move them here at least, so nobody's gonna be able to make it across. Siege of Messina successful. Lasted 204 days before the garrison finally succumbed to hunger and disease. We now control Messina. Fantastic. We should see, yeah, the stripy change here. Right, so what else do we have? Well, they might still have a military, we just, you know, that we don't see at this point. It's entirely possible. Right, but I want to push for the city. Alright, so we're going to send the large fleet here. Try to finish it off. Get rid of this fleet here. Somebody died. Navy's attrition, the second navy. Which one's that? Out here. See. Just gain a bit of experience, naval and speed. This admiral is an accomplished sailor. Personal sailing expertise allows his leader to enhance the skills of all captains under him. Ships commanded by the accomplished sailor will reach destination more quickly. This is the second navy. Where's the large one? So we get a fight in the mountains here. Oh, that's a tough one, actually. So we can now just move across, I think. Okay, we are winning it. It's a rough fight though. It's in the mountains. They get defensive bonuses and, you know, full morale. But they're about to be met by another equally large force in the region we control. So we have the fort and we have an army moving in. So this is not going to go well for them at all. So what's this? Two navies. We now have a castle spell against Achaea. Where are they? Let's pause it for a moment. I think they might be part of these, you know, current engagements. You know, they're supporting Sicily. So we might want to... Yeah, so that'll give us some regions here. That might not be the worst thing. Right, how are they military-wise? Infrastructure, military. Czechoslovakia. Relations. Now, of course, if we were to capture this, that means we're, you know, our borders will touch the Byzantine Empire or be like close to them. And I don't think they like us much. I remember correctly. Yeah. We are stronger than them. Do we want to push into the east here? I don't know. Okay, let's find the trading hubs to begin with. Dubrovnik. Now, it would be nice to capture that, of course, but, you know, they are friendly to others. Right, so... maybe we want to capture that as well. Finish Sicily and then move here. What kind of resources can we get? Resource. So it's a bit of fish, a bit of olives. Let's see, do we get iron? No, we don't get that. That's somebody else, unfortunately. That would have been good. Okay, so Sicily actually has some presence here as well, so maybe that's why we're giving Casus Belli. Let's save. Just in case I'm reading this incorrectly, but if I'm reading correctly, then yes, we're going to go ahead and capture that as well. Where was it? So this is the war, and yeah, doesn't look like they're in the list here. I thought there would be one of these actors. They're just like generally buzzing in. I'm actually trying to improve my relations with them, and they go and do this. How do we get up to Casus Belli 1 again? Let's see, we have unraised levies as well. I don't think we'll be needing them, so the less we can use, the better. Trade capacity, need to make sure that's up to snuff. Here. Alright, so we're missing employees, so we are starting to suffer a little bit due to war. A lot of these people are now off the fields and in our levies. A long-term gain from that might be worth it. She is getting close. I think it's like next year. Right, so the population will need to suffer a little bit. Coal, that's a new one. Weaponsmiths, makes sense. So we need to get some coal working going. I don't think I have that resource. 100-year war. Yeah, so these are the Papal State and the Holy Roman Empire. So we're currently supporting the Holy Roman Empire. Might want to shift that. Yeah, we'll check that in a moment. Let's see. There's so many things to look at, right? It's like all kinds of things to consider. Yeah, so I'm trying to get up the Casus Belli again here. With diplomatic actions. We don't have to create Casus Belli, we already have it. Hopefully it's for this, all this region here that's kind of striped. Open diplomatic actions, hostile actions. Covert actions, nope. How do I get that up again? Casus Belli option. Not in the list here. Here is it. Do we want to do this real quick? We have a few of them, so maybe we want to send them somewhere good. This one seems to be it's a bit slow. I generally just kind of give them balanced education. Not too worried about him. It will hopefully be, you know, put to the wayside. Meanwhile, that's Filipino, so we go for Maria next. Ambitious, okay. Yeah, she should get a good education. Right, so we want to get him in. Yeah, she's already in administrative education, so that she's in the right spot. How about her? That's our leader, right? Unfortunately, she goes a bit slow, but you know, it is what is. You know, at least we had an heir to the throne. And then Anju, yeah, he went into war training, right? Yes, military education. Okay, so we can close that, because that's been dealt with. Might want to look at this again eventually. Let's see, yeah, that's a bit of a bother, isn't it? I can't seem to get the Casus Belli screen up again. I just wanted to get some more information before I made a decision on it. Relations, how are they currently? I mean, if they're in agreement, then, you know, we're doing pretty well. So we have good relations with them. Naples are fighting a war together with Achaia. So they're on our side and we're getting Casus Belli? Why is that? We're in a Catholic church, you know, same religion, fighting in the same war with us. We're collecting tributes. Or from Achaia at least. Is it these that were fighting with us finally? Finally finding where they're at. Okay, I thought they were up here somewhere. That's a different one, okay. Ascoli and Achaia. Water capital is up here. Council improve relations. I just don't know why we want to do this. Diplomatic annexation allows us to annex a subject into our nation without declaring war. So they are a sub-nation to us, like a... Oh, I see. Okay, so the king that's currently regent for Napoli, because we're waiting for our lady, the girl, to kind of grow into age to take over. He is from here. Okay, so it's kind of starting to come together. I think that's the case, right? And it's a little bit confusing, all of this. Okay, so Achaia is a vassal. Highly loyal to us. So is the play here to join them into Napoli or keep them as a vassal? But the most typical type of subject, a vassal oversees its territory on behalf of his overlord, overlord being us. It pays vassal fees and joins the military campaign of its overlord. It gets greater efficiency of her cabinet, while the overlord gets increased monthly prestige. Subject can be annexed. Okay. So when an overlord completely takes over one of his subjects, the overlord will gain all of the subject's own locations, cores and cantons. The subject will no longer exist as a country. The subject can slow the progress with the frustrate annexation cabinet action or declare war with their special resist annexation capability. Yeah, I think I'll just leave them as they are for now. You know, I'm happy to have allies, and let's just focus on Sicily for now. Right, so we're going for the capital here. If they want to defend it, they can do that. Otherwise, they can, you know, go somewhere else. Let's go south here. Looks like a city to me. Town of Catalina. Yeah, this one's smaller, right? So that's a larger one. Province capital. Let's take that first. Yeah, they didn't stand much of a chance against a large army. Where's our levy, though? We had a large fleet. Okay, so we can probably go between the fleets here. Where's the big one? What happened to a large navy? Okay, so these are considered fishing boats, like transport. We need cogs, not transport. Did we send a bunch of cogs with our admiral? Like transport, like fishing boats. Was that what we got from the levy? We sent that here and then they got all sunk. Didn't think those were fishing boats. I thought those were actual warships. It's a bit of a conundrum then, if that's the case. Oh well, these things happen. Alright, so meanwhile, let's have a look here. So this could last for a while. It's a large city. Won't be much use of building the spy network, right, if we can capture them like this. Okay, so this is where we sue for peace. And when we do, you know, hopefully we can take some of the land, if not all of it. Okay, so they had twice the number of losses, so we lost a lot of these. Lost a lot of ships. Battle of Messina. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye on navies in the future, see what kind of ships we're getting. So maybe they just intended mainly for, you know, helping the transport troops rather than actually fight wars. We got cogs here, and they have what? What's in the first navy? So that's a galley. Is it a single galley? Galleys are shallow draft ships, mainly propelled by oars that are primarily used in coastal waters. Whereas cogs is a professional ships, meaning we pay for its upkeep as part of our country's fleets. So we got 3 cannons. What does a galley have? Yeah, I don't know if that's a fighting vessel. Don't really know. I thought maybe they were the ones which were kind of used to ram a lot back in the day. But I might be wrong. Because they're sitting here, you know, in the same area, in the same strait, without attacking each other, which is kind of surprising. I mean, do we do like this to engage? And is that a mistake? Yeah, that was a mistake. So what happens then? Can we send them out? We're gonna bring them back to Naples and hopefully just recover. It won't really matter too much if they do, you know, as long as the Admiral survives. It's really all that I care about. Because if I capture the whole island, you know, that navy will fall anyways. So we may have lost Admiral. Okay, occupation of Saragossa is successful. The occupation of Saragossa lasted 16 days. Okay, that's good. So we're slowly taking over everything here. Okay, what do we want next? I think we have all the towns. Switch to the diplomatic map mode. Saltpeter's can be very good later on when we need, you know, for muskets and such. Gunpowder. There's sugar. Some nice things here. Olives. Silks, okay, so that's valuable. So let's try to grab this for ourselves, rather than, you know, leaving it to this tiny army of our supporter. We're looking here. Okay. Yeah, so at this point we're just about coloring the map. As for Sicily at least. And there isn't too much left here. We're capturing the main city of Palermo. It will just take a while, you know, they have a bit of supplies, but we have overwhelming forces and their main army has been defeated already. I guess we just speed up a little bit and just wait. Right, so we have two little navies here. Right, so we can raise more levies, but I don't want to. I want to keep more people in the fields if possible. And if you lose them during the fight, that means less people to tax, less people to work the fields. Besides, like the loss of, you know, whenever you get a levy, that decreases your resource getting by 20%, etc. So it's, you know, not ideal to get us, you know, get all of them if you don't have to. Let's go back to the research tree now, see what else we want to take. Let's see, the area of thought, arts and science will bring forth new waves of discoveries and inventions, allowing us to improve our adaptation of our institutions. So, we are all the way to the right here on the tree. See what we want. That's for relation improvements. Codified privileges and duties. Don't know if I want any of these. Oh, this is good though. So we might want to go down here. Resource gather improvements. So we'll start with this then. Okay, good. Yeah, it's you know, it's going according to plan, though the plan has had to change a little bit, but the general goal still remains the same. We're just reaching it through other means than expected. Was not expecting to attack Sicily quite yet, but we had the opportunity to do so, and it's working out quite well. Right, so request food access for Ascoli. Yeah, we'll let them get some food. We have larger fields. It's a small country. We can help support them, and they'll, you know, ferment our relationship or kind of consolidate it. Oh, it's a big fleet moving here. So maybe we want to move our fleet away. Don't really need it anymore. They don't have any military or army on land, so they can sail their little fleet around all they want. It won't do much. So the attrition here is just from sailing across the open sea. That should be fixed as we come into the harbor here. Or soon enough anyways. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's looking relatively good so far. Things are really turning our way. And there's been some losses, but you know, it's about half what they've suffered, so it's okay. Now, did we capture this already? Looks like it, so we can just keep moving. Who's this? France, yeah. So now they're getting greedy, moving in. Once I've done all the defeating and, you know, fighting all the big battles. Finally. So Queen Giovanni Angiolio will now rule our glorious country. Majesty's great cunning and silver tongue shall aid us in forming strong alliances with our friends. So we've been waiting for a long time for her to take over. Fantastic. Finally, she's come of age. Unfortunately, she's a little bit slow, but we'll have to work around that. You know, it is what it is. But at least the power is still within our family. Good, good, good. Alright, so just waiting for the progress here. So they have some supplies, so they can hold up for a while, but each time, you know, they get a bit more weakened, and the chance of us actually capturing the city on each tick, I think it happens every 2 weeks or so, the chance of us capturing it then goes up, and eventually it will fall. You see here, the next phase, well, I guess it's monthly then, and the chance of falling is 28%, or less than 20% from what it was before, whatever the case be. See? Yeah, we are learning as we go. Lots of different kind of options, lots of things to do. Diplomacy, economy, production lines, warfare, populations. It's a lot, but it's a lot of fun at the same time. The minister gains power. It seems that a member of our cabin, so one of the two, Bertrand del Basso, will stop at nothing to elevate his position. Oh, that's not good. Using more or less questionable methods, he has come to command the undivided attention of Queen Giovanni Angio, who is said to obey his every whim. No, this is not what we want. But he served us well for many, many years, though. We've been good to him. Why would he do this? Alright, so if you move in with your stability, that's 7 points. It's a lot, it's a lot. And yeah, span for us 5 years. We use 10 points of legitimacy if we do that. I think we can take that more than we can do with the balance loss. So we'll keep an eye on it. He's done a really good job up till now. He's been stabilizing our country, which helps a lot. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so another county captured. We're just painting the map, as they can say, at this point. Yeah, this just needs to... It takes a little time. Just gotta let it happen. Alright. So this is strategic map, which lets us kind of see which sectors are easier or harder to capture. So these are mountain regions, for example, and they had a fort here, so that was a tough one. But that's now in our hands. You can see from the diplomatic view kind of which counties we have already, which ones are remaining. Right. Oh. So we found an agent. So look at this. First time I see this. Okay. Our diplomat was expelled and numerous agents arrested, reducing the size of our spy network to 50. Okay, but that's okay. So we did send him in here to build up a spy network to create a casus belli at some point, a few years back. But then we got an opportunity to join a, war against Sicily, which we did. So there's really no need for the spy network anymore. We're hoping to capture all the regions and hopefully annex Sicily, if it's possible. Though it might be hard if you don't have actual documents of forged otherwise, proving that we should own Sicily. See, so we are doing pretty well. So we got Naples all over here. Hopefully this will be joined in. We did get a chance to, do casus belli here, but this is our vessel and annal, so we didn't want to do that. Alright, so Herald from Sicily Kingdom asking for peace. Okay. So that's between Ascoli, but I'm hoping that doesn't mean that I lose the progress of them so far. Okay, let's slow it down here and have a quick look at how this works out. So does this mean we own these locations now? Let's see, Kingdom of Naples. Alright, so I guess they did a deal for us, seeing as we went out like support of the war. I was kind of hoping to get the capital at least as well, but this is good. This is a start, and we do get a fort here, which is going to be a very good place. So we'll set up fortifications and a stronghold here, and then start up the spy network again, and get the casus belli for the rest of these. So good progress all in all. Alright, but I think this is a good point to stop it for now. Been playing for about 2.5 hours, need a bit of a break. And so I'll just save it up here, and we have a few more lands. Economy is building up, it's all happening for us. And we'll continue onwards from here next time. So thanks for checking out the stream, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.